Hey everybody, Scroft here, and welcome back to Farming Simulator 25. We're back on our small holding series on this custom farm build that I've done on Oakbridge, or originally known as Calmsden. And look at this, it's a foggy morning, and my god, it looks so good. It's one of the best things about the realistic weather mod that I've found. It's a really good mod. It's got a few issues with the moisture, and if you watched my episode that I did yesterday on Oakbridge, and my Oakbridge Let's Play series on Calmsden basically, you'll know that I've adjusted the moisture now, so it doesn't have any effect anymore. Really, it's not going to have any negative effect on us too much anyway, unless we go right down to like drought mode, and then yeah, we might see a few issues. But the rest of it, like the blizzards and the fog that we've got, that's still a thing. And man, it just looks so good. And we're in October. You know, we got rain on the horizon, but look at that. I mean, it looks so good, that volumetric lighting. But yeah, just gonna go and do a load of work in the fog today. But look at this. Look at this. I wanted to showcase this off. It looks like the Holy Gate now. This is what it's called, the Holy Gate. I fixed it. I sorted it. I know I had a few comments of people saying it was irritating, and it is irritating. I agree. And it was coming out this way, so I've moved it round. The problem was before it was kind of going in that direction through the kind of like shed that I've got there at the storage point. So I changed the rotation angle of this. So I was like really kind of fine-tuning it, adjusting it, so it's just perfect almost. And I'm really happy with how it's turned out, because it now opens that way. And there you go. Just like that. Job's a good one. So we've now got a gate that doesn't kind of encroach outwards over here. And obviously that's good for us going forward. Shout out again to all the channel members. I've updated the board. I know I missed off a couple of names, and it's my fault. So if you are a channel member, I apologise if your name's not been on the board for my Farmland series, but also on this board here. It's just my fault. It's all done by an Excel spreadsheet that I created, and sometimes I just miss a name here and there. But hopefully your name's now on it if it has been missed. But I just want to thank everybody that supports me, either on Ko-fi or through YouTube. Really appreciate it. And if anyone wants to know, Ko-fi is it's such a better way to do it, because I think it's about, well, it's close to 50% of it goes straight to kind of Google and YouTube when you do a channel membership, or even super chats and things like that. Whereas with Ko-fi, the only fee that actually takes away from what you give to the creator is the transaction fee. So like what PayPal would take, and if you're using like just a card, just like a standard transaction fee. So it's not much at all in comparison to like the 40-odd% that I find that Google and YouTube takes. So big shout out to everyone that's kind of switched over to Ko-fi, because I know you lose the member badge as well, the channel member badge in the chat. So there isn't as much benefits visually for it, but obviously if you're trying to support the creator, thank you so much for that, because it does mean a lot to me. But anyway, let's go through today's episode. We're going to do something a little bit different. We've got no jobs to do, really. The cows are happy. They've been fed and everything. We're, happily just ticking along there. Chickens are good as well. Got a bit of milk, so we could go and sell that, but I'm just going to let it build up a little bit. I think 2,000 if we get that small tanker. What I was thinking of doing, and this would probably be the most realistic way, but it'd just take the job away from me doing it, was getting a tanker, an actual proper farm tanker, setting it up at like the dairy or a sell point that takes milk, because I set up a couple, so it's not just like the dairy. I know that's been added into the latest version, but I haven't got that. So you can see that it's like all sphere bales, and I've also got the Cotswolds stores. I don't know why I set it to the bales, just bear with me on that one. I just did. So it's actually going to the bale. Yeah, to the bale sell point. But, it is what it is. The both bales. Look, I've set them up to both the bale sell points, so all the milk types can go. So we've got two sell points. So basically, we could put like a tanker there, use auto drive, and with a click of just one button, simulate that we've kind of got the tanker or the dairy company, for example. Let's say it was Arla, come onto the farm, pick the milk up, and drive away and sell it. I like the idea of that, because it seems to be more realistic, but it's taking away, the task of me traveling. So let me know what you think in the comment section. What would you prefer to see in the series? Would you want me to buy one of the small tankers and take it ourselves? Or would you like to see what you'd most likely see in the real world, which is a tanker coming onto the farm and taking the milk for you? Let me know, because I'm happy either way. So let's go to the grass field, because few changes have happened. I've actually changed the grass texture to what Oxy did on the latest version of Calmsden or Oak Bridge that's on. I mean, that lighting then, just had to stop a second then and appreciate that lighting coming through. I think you see the improvement to the lighting when you see the heavy fog and the volumetric side of the lighting. Just peeking through then the gaps in the trees and stuff. It's so much better than what we had in 22. But I'm getting distracted. The grass, I know it looks a little bit, it's a bit orange at the moment. That's because, we are in October. But the meadow grass is now the whole grass. So basically all the grass we plant, there's no more like grass texture. It's all meadow. So if that makes sense to you, yeah, all the grass is now meadow. That's what Oxy did on his latest version of the map. So I decided to simulate that too. And this and my custom edit that I did on the new farm on the other series is going to have that too. So this is still our grass field, and it's planted in, and it'll show up in the map as, grass just like that does there, and these lot do. But it's obviously not the same, if that makes sense. So I just wanted to point that out. Everything's good with this field. It's perfect, if anything. It's perfect. We've got 100% fertilized. It's got a good yield bonus, for example. We're just going to let it grow. We don't need to do anything to this until we start mowing. And it's probably going to be now, I'd say, springtime before we mow this grass in our field. The wheat field that we planted in, that's had a mechanical weeder go through. So just the weeder over here. I actually used the Massey Ferguson, and just before I started recording the video, I used that there, the mechanical weeder. I had a couple of, well, not many, but just some medium weeds that were sitting out in the field. I mean, it is bloody foggy up here. You're probably not going to see much of this, but you can even see the light rays behind us just hitting through. That's insane. But yeah, this is our wheat field, and it's got no weeds in now, so it's all been taken care of as well. It's fully fertilized. Don't need to do anything with that. We're just going to harvest this when it's ready. So both of these fields we don't need to do anything with. So I decided, and I actually took influence from a comment. I think it was Dan L58. I think it was you, mate. I think you said it in the video, like you could do contracts whilst you're waiting because you haven't got much money. And why not do some contracts in the winter months? And I thought it was a perfect suggestion, but I didn't want to do I didn't want to do something massive. Even though I've got some equipment, I still want to see it as this is small holding. So I want smaller jobs that pay less. So I picked up 4. Now, one of them is really good money. It's Field 7, and it's probably the biggest one. And I'm not 100% certain if I'm going to do this. I will get to it, but it's just baling. So we don't need to lease anything out. It's just our baler, our tractor, do some baling for that field, and we'll get a good, well, in fact, we'll get a fair whack of money for that. There's the contracts. So that one's going to give us 24,000, like 24,500. That's a lot of money, and that's going to tie us over all winter. But what I did see was these 3 fields, which are actually perfect because I was mentioning that it'd be nice to get these 3 fields at some point. These 2 were going to be for like one for goats, one for sheep, and then 19 and 21 we could get and combine, and that could be our grass field, and then the one we've got now for a grass field would be our cow pasture, and so on. So it's nice to get in these 3 fields. So that's what we're going to be doing in this episode. We're going to mow because that's all we need to do. We don't need to do anything else. We just need to mow the fields up, which is a steady job for our equipment. And then depending on time, we'll go up and do this. I think it's important to do this because, the other one's just over £1,000 really. It's like, let's say 1,200 or something like that we're going to get by doing these 3. I'm sitting at like just under 4,000. We haven't got much money in the bank account at all. So it is important that we get some jobs done. To tie us over through them winter months, because every month we do pay a loan interest charge and the standard fees. It's not massive because we're not a big farm, but we are still paying money out, and we haven't got much. So I thought it'd be a good idea. We're going to bring some money in soon from the milk and stuff, but yeah, I'm going to hold off until people suggest what to do there. But before I do that, I just want to check my equipment, which I always get mixed up now. It's like everything's changed so much that I don't even know which one the menu is anymore. Like I just keep getting confused. This one, for some reason, your equipment's in the prices tab. I still don't get that. I think it should just be in the shop. Like you should have your own equipment there. It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. What I want to check is if we just sort by value, I want to see. So that's obviously 136 horsepower. The baler is 90. This one is 90 horsepower, so we can still do the baling with that. But I'm pretty certain my mower, yeah, it's 50, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's use the Massey. We have used the Ford quite a bit in this series. And I think we should probably turn our lights on with it being quite foggy out. But yeah, let's get hooked up, get this mowing started. Where did I put the mower now? Is it right in the corner? I think it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring down the Ford first. Take out that baler. Because then we can get to the mower a lot easier. God, it's so much better with that gate there. It made me think, like, why didn't I do that before? I just didn't think to, you know, change the actual rotation angle. But I have actually done that in the past on Court Farms for 22. So I should have thought about that. This is about as large as I want the setup to be on this farm. There we go. We can leave that there out the way. Job done. And now we can go and pick up the mower. It's only 3 fields. I mean, they are small fields. We'll fly through this. Yeah, we'll fly through it. And it's going to be interesting to do it whilst it's so foggy as well. I'm just trying to think now. Do we go out this way? I think we do. When I put this in, it was right on the edge. Look at that. Right on the edge. That's a big mower, isn't it, for 50 horsepower? They're unmodeled, these are, but I feel like we've got the perfect mower. Let's go for this route as well. We never take this route. May as well. Now that we can. See, that gate. You know what? That's the gate I need to adjust, don't I? Looking at that now, I can change that out. But the problem is if I do that one, it'll also do all of them. So I have to keep in mind that any of these gates, it's going to swing it out. I mean, I could swing that one out a little bit more, couldn't I? That actually wouldn't be too bad. And same goes for that. That would... got plenty of space for that. So I mean, maybe a little bit. I've got one more down here as well. So I'd have to check that. We are doing a bit of ground deformation, but not as much as I expected. Maybe it's because I was flying by. I was not going slow. Yeah, so this one shouldn't be... Actually, no, this one might be, because the ground, it'll start going through the ground. I think it's already hit. I think it already goes through a little bit, just a touch. So any more on that one would look a bit silly. But, I mean, it's one of them. It can happen. Does it need to happen? I don't know. Just about got through there. Right, let's do this. I mean, it's 20 past 8. The sun is out. It's a stunning morning. Bit foggy, but absolutely stunning. I'm well impressed with it. Well impressed with it. I think that realistic weather mod, my Arrow, it's an outstanding mod. Brilliant. I'm hoping to get some more information about the mod that I kind of saw by chance in that mod. So in the realistic weather mod, which is called Realistic Livestock. So, yeah, interesting to see what that's all about. Right, anyway, let's mow this. This is a field we definitely need to mow up. It's going to be a challenge to see, because the fog is out. This is, you know, it looks so kind of dark down here and grim almost. So I think I might put on all my lights for this. And even though the sun's kind of blaring through there, we are missing bits still. So we'll go back round on the final pass, but let's just kind of start from here. And yeah. get this done. We will use guided steering, which is it's improved so much. The inbuilt GPS I found with that mod that automatically just turns off the lines as well. So that is a must. So now I should have that set up. Did it not work? I don't think it did it? Yeah, maybe it's because we've maybe it's either because we don't own it, or it's because it's a grass field that can have that effect, can't it, sometimes? But we'll be alright, we'll get this done still. I just don't know how precise it wants to be. I've never done one. There you go, we've got it now. It's just appeared. That was strange. Yeah, I don't know how precise it wants to actually be, because I mean, it's saying we've already done 10%, so I imagine we're not doing too bad. I mean, we're getting quite far over. It's just so hard to see where I've been. Right, now let's follow the lines, because I feel like I've gone extra out there, and then that might just be enough, to be honest. I mean, actually, thinking about it, we're still off. I'll tell you what, I'll do the headlands myself, and then when I feel like I've gone in enough compared to them up and down stretches, yeah, that's when we'll bother about it. I mean, that's a bit off there, isn't it? That doesn't look good, and I'm missing bits. This is a challenge. For 8 AM, it's not the easiest to make out. I think it doesn't help as well that the kind of grass is almost like a little bit orange, brown. Actually, that might be helping. It might be even worse if it was just straight up like dark green. But we'll get it done, definitely. I mean, 20%, we're flying through it, really. And the other two fields are smaller. So we're getting the worst out. We're getting the one that takes the most effort done first. Always the best way to go about it. That baling job's going to take some time, though. And I think it is worth doing, but I might have to do a bit of a jump cut there, because, yeah, that's going to take a long time to bale. I mean, it's not like I'm using a bad baler or anything, you know. And a square bale would be better, because I could just keep going and not have to stop, but I don't mind. Listen to an audiobook, put some tunes on. I mean, that's the best way to play the game, really. But my God, I can't see I can't see a thing. I can't see a thing.
Step by step, I've walked 100 miles, and I still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find. The night seems longer and the wind blows louder when you wander so far from home. If I cross your mind, say a prayer, I'll find my way and get off of this lonely road.
Can you hear me? Tell me, can you hear me? I've been calling out for help, still don't see nobody near me. I'm down and almost underground and so deep in the valley, I can't even tell you which way is the mountain. God, the only word I got, I could probably plant a garden, all this dirt I got. Trail of broken hearts behind me from the hurt I bought. Sometimes I really start to wonder if I deserve my spot. Cause I'm just a man who's got blood all on his hands. But does a humble sinner still deserve a chance? Hey, say a prayer for me, I think you would advance.
Step by step, I walked 100 miles, and I still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find.
Let's go.
The night seems longer and the wind blows louder when you wandered so far from home. If I cross your mind, say a prayer, I'll find my way and get off of this lonely road.
Off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely
Get off of this lonely road.
Would you catch me? Tell me, would you catch me if I told you I was sorry? Could I fall into your blessing? Would you wrap your arms around me, never drown me? If I walk towards the light, could I tell them that you found me? God, the only help I got. I know some people plotting on me, probably thought I'd rot. Praying for my downfall, wanna take my spot. Guess I deserve it, all the evil came.
Still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find. The night seems longer and the wind blows louder when you wander so far from home. If I cross your mind, say a prayer, I'll find my way and get off of this lonely road.
Off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely.
Get off of this lonely road.
Would you catch me? Tell me, would you catch me if I told you I was sorry? Could I fall into your blessing? Would you wrap your arms around me? Never drown me. If I walk towards the light, could I tell him that you found me? God, the only help I got. I know some people plotting on me, probably thought I'd rot. Praying for my downfall, wanna take my spot. Guess I deserve it, all the evil came out my heart. But I'm just a man who's got blood all on his hands. But does a humble sinner still deserve a chance? Hey, take me up, I pray to God I never
Step
land.
by step, I've walked 100 miles and I still ain't sure just what I'm trying so hard to find. The night seems longer and the wind blows louder when you wander so far from home. If I cross your mind, say a prayer, I'll find my way and get off of this lonely road.
Off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely road, off of this lonely
Get
road.
off of this lonely road. And get off of this lonely road.
Right, then 3 fields are done. That was a challenge. A fun one, though. Something completely different. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, it was the fog that made it really interesting. So, that was good to see. Right, anyway, what we're going to do now is fill up the baler. I bought some net wrap, got it delivered. So I paid a little bit of an extra fee just to try and get the ball rolling. Don't mind, because we've got, you know, an investment here anyway. When you think about it, we are doing this contract. It's gonna take quite a lot. I'm just gonna fill up the tractor. I think it's probably the best thing to do. Yeah, we've got a big contract now, big baling contract. So it's worth, you know, investing in that, in the net wrap, because we need it, don't we? Twines for the square balers. Obviously wrappings if we're doing silage or anything like that, but this is net wrap for the round baler, so it's all full up, ready to go. That'll last us out. Just need a bit of fuel. While we're here, though, we can actually set. Hopefully, we can change the size. I don't think we can, but as long as it's straw, that shouldn't be too bad. I mean, we do want automatic drop on though, so turn on. I've got that. I'm happy with that. I don't think we can change the size on this baler. And I'm not going to... That chicken just had a rate nightmare, didn't it? It was petrified. Right, first things first, though. Let's get rid of the F1 menu. I want to do something. I was talking about this mod in my last video on my actual Let's Play series, so the Oak Bridge Let's Play series. And I was saying that it's really good because you can adjust the camera, and if you feel like it's not spot on, I've always thought that's a little bit too far away for me. So now I'm quite happy with how that is. I feel like that's probably more suited. Just a little bit closer in cab. It's such a handy mod. It's on Mod Hub. It's by Viper GTS, and it's basically called something like Indoor Cab Adjustment. I'll put a picture up of it now, so if you want to go on Mod Hub, you can just search the name and then you'll find it there. But it's quite recent. It's dropped on Mod Hub not long ago, a few days, and it's so useful to have, because if you find that one of the modded vehicles you use is just not what you prefer, you want it to be more inside, or you're taller and whatever, you can adjust it and it'll save like that. So really handy mod. We've not got long left until the fog clears. We've got 1 hour left of it. I was doing that on ×5. I've gone back to like ×1 now. I was doing all that on ×5. This one I'm going to keep In fact, no, I'll go back to ×5 because it's going to be a big job, so we're probably going to be into the evening. But you'll notice that the fog will have completely disappeared by the time I cut back in. I'm not going to do another time lapse. I am pretty much just going to do a jump cut and get this done. Wait a minute, is that like rows of soybean? It is. So this is soybean straw. Interesting. Fair play, fair play. Right, off you go, and let's get this sorted out. Straw bales. So at least the size of the bale is actually going to be the... Well, it's the best we can do with this baler. And it's just a massive field. It is. I mean, I've been doing harvesting this field and baling as well, not long ago. Now, what I do like is the rows are a lot wider than what I got when I was doing it. That's because they've obviously used a better harvester size, which helps. It does help. It means that it shouldn't take as long because we're doing less up and down passes. But we are going to stop more because the baler will fill up quicker. So, does it equal itself out? Maybe it does. Anyway, it's a big job and it's going to take me a while. But I will cut back in, get it all done. We'll have a look at what the fields look like. I want to check the grass fields out. I want to see if I missed bits. It was difficult to make sure that I'd got everything, but I want to see what that looks like when the fog is cleared out the way. And we're also going to bring in all the cash that we've got from doing the contracts and seeing where we're sitting at. Because I think after this, we're going to do a good jump into spring, start the mowing off. And that's got to be the plan. 5,000 litres. Yeah, it's not horrendous, is it? 3.5 is where I think, my God, that is a small bale. And you're doing fresh grass. So that's how these bales are going to drop out when we're doing silage. So they're going to be 3,500 litres. So we're going to be stopping quite a lot. But luckily, the grass fields are really small. Well, the grass field and any one we want to buy in the future is going to be small as well. So it shouldn't matter too much. But anyway, I'll get this sorted out and I'll cut back in when it's done and we can finally get some much needed cash in the bank. So the heavy fog has just turned into a lighter fog. It's still there. Definitely still there. But we did get some rain. So my Ford is not happy right now. It needs cleaning off. But I did it. We got the bales done. I also used quite a bit of fuel, but look at that. Look at the state of the Ford now. But it's worth it for that contract especially. £27,000 in this one. And you can't complain at that. So let's do the most important thing, which is bring it in. Now, I want to go collect on that. I'm also going to collect all these. But I'm hoping that the actual grass field down there actually looks alright. Right, there we go. The bales are vanished. I don't know if you can take them. There might be a way of just taking them and selling them. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't like to try because I don't think it would be the right thing to do. But yeah, I bet there's a way. There's always a way of doing that, kind of making a bit of extra cash from a contract. But my God, I'm glad that's done. That was a heavy. That was with the biggest field I'd want to do baling contract in, unless I had like probably a square baler that can just keep on going. I think for fields like that, for straw, square balers work better. But let's take this back to the farm. We're going to park it up. We're going to clean it off. That's the last thing we're going to do. But before that, we're going to go and check them grass fields. I want to bring back the Mattxjs because it is still sitting out there. But I want to see if I missed anything. There is a bit of fog still, so it might be difficult to actually check. But yeah, it's still quite bad, isn't it, for the heavy fog that was there? It's still not very good. But it's better than what it was. Right. Let's park this up. We can fill this back up a bit as well. So we've got one more that's gone in. We've got 2 left. There we go. Let's park that there. That needs moving. I don't know if I can actually pick that up. I don't think I can. So I'm going to have to use some forks for that, aren't I? Some pallet forks. But let's jump over here. Look at that. It's probably still as bad as it was. It makes me laugh. It's like the heavy fog's going to disappear. But it's not at all. Do you know what? After changing the grass, I want to up that cut texture. I want to make that more full. So I'm going to change that. because I've not adjusted the meadow texture at all, only the grass, but we haven't got the grass texture anymore. We've got the meadow. So I'm going to have to change the densities of that just to make that look a little bit better. I think that can be improved. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad, but it's... I think I'm just so used to the other one now that looks quite sparse in sections. But, I mean, it still looks alright, doesn't it? But from what I can tell, I've not missed too many bits from this field. That is still heavy fog, surely. There's like a smoke circle in the centre of it. That's... looking alright, not missed bits there. I actually think I did a pretty good job with that for what it is. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I'm sure the other field's just as good, so let's drive this back now. This could do with a bit of fuel, but I'm definitely going to clean off that Ford. It's done us proud in that field. It's earned us some good money. We were about £2,000 after I bought the net wrap, so now sitting at 28,600. That feels a lot better, much better. Need to get a bigger hose on this, don't I? I've got 1 metre grace there, or I need to be able to, or buy the other one where I can actually move it. Well, I think that's probably about the right size for this farm. And look, that's not good, is it? What's the dirt on this? 35% still. It's a shame I can't actually pick that up and move it. Just have to not get too far. That should do the job. I will do the Massey, but I'm going to park up the Ford first and the baler. So that one's spot on. Let's have a look at this one now. 55%. I do like that we've got a percentage there. It gives you the info on that. So you can tell you how far away we are on it. I do like the water droplets as well, sitting on the baler. The only problem with that Ford is it's perfect on, yeah, it's fine on the tyres, but it's not on the bodywork. So that's the one downfall. But I mean, it's nothing major. It's still nice to have the Ford back in the game. Yeah, just see what I mean. The tyres have got it, but not the bodywork. So I need to see if I can try and figure that out. I just hope it's not a Blender job, because then if it's something that has to be done in Blender, that's going to be a bit of a pain. And that gate, I've said it already. That gate it's such an improvement and overdue. And I like how I kind of tweaked it. I must have jumped in and out the game about 3 to 4 times to try and find the perfect kind of rotation angle, so it just sits nice against that wall. And it's not too close to the wall. There's still a tiny gap. It's just better. Now, I'm going to leave the baler in here. It's not its normal parking spot. But the next episode, I'm hoping to be in springtime doing some baling. So I may as well keep it out and just make life a little bit easier. Makes sense. That is a bad spot. It's right in the way. There we go. Happy days. And we'll park the Ford right in the spot, right outside the house. And I'll get cleaning the Massey off for the next episode. I'll also put this back. But yeah, next episode, we'll be skipping through into springtime, because there's not much else to do. If we have a look at the crop calendar, we can't do anything until July when it comes to harvesting. Grass work, though, we can obviously start harvesting that, and we can start chopping that around springtime, around April, I'd say. April, May time. And I was thinking the next time round, after we cut and baled, we should lose like 50% of the fertilised state on that field. What I'm going to do is get a grass roller and roll it down. Because one, I love the texture of that. I think it looks really nice. But it adds, again, the next kind of fertilising stage. So we don't have to put slurry down and muck down. And if we haven't built up enough, yeah, it makes sense to just do that. So I think that's going to be the next job after it, while we're waiting for the harvest. Because we're pretty much stuck, aren't we? If we can't do much with our animals, because like in FS25, same as with 22, really, you're not hands-on much with the animals. It'd be nice at some point when we've got some sheep and we've got some goats and maybe some beef stock and stuff. I mean, it'd be nice to get that kind of going on and having a more busy animal farm, let's say. But our main focus is going to be an arable field, combining getting another grass field, getting a couple of grass fields for some more animals, and just keep chipping away at the arable side and putting some grain in the grain shed where that chicken's just ran through the wall. The chickens will run into the grain. Like, they'll probably eat it because they can somehow get through. You're not allowed in here. Get out. This is for the grain. But no, the grain is going in there. I mean, that is a weird effect with the sun, though. I think that's a strange one. So the light is going through. I'm not sure about that. I'm really not sure. Maybe I've got to put some kind of collision on the roof. I think that's what it is, you know. I think the arch bit is missing a collision, so I'll have a look at that because it should stop the light. I mean, it doesn't rain in here, so I've got most of it right. Just the light now. But I'll sort it out. I'll fix that. It's not that much of an issue anyway, is it? And I did mention that I put them little puddles scattered around the place. You can see a couple of them. That's what Oxy put down. So there's a few of them bobbing about the place, and it does add to it. It's a nice little feature to add to any farms you're building if you're doing it in GE. But on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a thumbs up for me because that does help me out. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.